Hello, good evening, and welcome. I'm John Lazarus with Stories Matter and D&E Publishing. He got in. Shit. I don't know how, but he got in. I'll just try it, bitch. I'll shoot that bastard right between the eyes. Where is it? Where's my gun? I always keep it in my pillowcase. Where is it? Oh, shit, he's coming down the hall. Don't even try it, motherfucker. I heated the doorknob like in Home Alone. Ah! 911! 911! In today's video, we'll look at some interesting ways to implement flashbacks in our writing, but first, a word from our sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by Brinks Home Security. Live in a dangerous part of town? Want protection without the hostility iron bars on the windows project? Tired of neighbors trying to sue you after booby-trapping your yard with tiger traps and landmines? Brinks Home Security provides professional, state-of-the-art security measures that protect nearly 1 in every 300 Americans, while minimizing incidents of friendly fire. Brinks Alarm Monitoring Center will alert police to breaches of your security perimeter, and as we all know, police will arrive quickly and soon de-escalate the situation in a calm and fair manner. Watch your neighbors closely to see if Brinks Home Security is right for you. So John, you might be asking, why should I be using a flashback at all? Can't I just tell a story from beginning to end? Well, there are many great reasons for using flashbacks. For starters, it more closely mimics the thought process of an actual human. We don't go through our lives mindlessly progressing from one moment to the next. Sometimes I'll sit at my desk, thinking about the sex I used to have with past lovers for hours. Or I'll remember the moment I introduced my third wife to her current boyfriend, a hot-blooded, strapping Argentinian tennis pro named Alejandro. Second, a flashback can be used to postpone information. This can be used for emotional gut punches, like how in A Man Called Ove, flashbacks are used to reveal Ove's wife's accident and her infertility. Or it can be used for suspense and intrigue, like, for example, me telling you that Alejandro actually lied about being a tennis pro and used it as a fake identity to get into the United States. Thirdly, flashbacks often help the reader picture more attractive versions of the people you're reading about. Nobody wants to picture old people. I mean, there's a reason nobody visits retirement homes, and it's not just the outdated casual racism. Movies like Titanic and The Notebook prove this point quite well. In my 2015 novel, The Things We Lost, about the suicide of a depressed college student, readers told me the best scenes were the flashbacks about the parents depicting his conception. So how can we use flashbacks to the best of our advantage? Step 1. Earn the flashback and make it support your story arc. Don't use flashbacks for the sake of using flashbacks. First, it's always good to have a trigger for your flashback. Spotting a lost mitten on the ground during a walk, for example, could trigger a flashback about the protagonist's child losing his hand in a helicopter accident. Flashbacks can be used to reveal key information. This is important in mystery novels. Motives for a murder almost always occur in flashback, and clues could be scattered temporally to tease the reader. If, for example, this video was a murder mystery, I might, mention that I left my gun on the kitchen table instead of in the pillowcase where it belongs. Step 2. Use it sparingly. Sometimes a flashback is super important. Like, if I were writing a story about Alejandro, it's important to know that I hired a private investigator last week who told me he's a convicted felon with mafia ties who probably murdered the last man who tried to hit on his girlfriend. But sometimes flashbacks are unnecessary, and you start telling instead of showing. You don't need to flashback to your protagonist's childhood to scrupulously detail his childhood to explain his mommy issues. Show him in the present tense, jerking off in department stores, and your reader can fill in the blanks. Step 3. Make a list of details about what is different in this time frame. Again, keeping in mind you want to show and not tell, you have to find subtle ways to indicate this is a flashback without using subheadings as a cheat code. If you were a filmmaker, you could just give your character long hair and call it a day, but fiction writers need to be more subtle. An old song being played on the radio, or the fact that the characters are listening to the radio, might hint that this is the past. Sci-fi writers could hint at the past by describing the sun's brightness, or the oxygen content of the atmosphere. But as with everything, character should come first. The character could be happier, two-handed, or still afraid of disabled people in the flashback. In my 2007 novel Hot Flashes, the protagonist, prior to being struck by lightning, didn't talk with an Italian accent. Step 4. Transition at the right moment. Follow the peaks and troughs of your narrative thread. A flashback after a big emotional reveal in the present tense can help deepen and explain it. If you feel the reader will start to get confused without more background information, a flashback might be needed. For example, I might need to explain the reason why I keep bringing up Alejandro is my ex-wife sent me a bunch of texts earlier today about how he wants to kill me because he found all the old sex tapes my wife and I made together. Finally, it's also a great idea to start chapters with a flashback, which comes across as less contrived than giving an introduction to a flashback. This way... Hold on, I think I hear something. Okay, false alarm. It was just my third son. He's a deaf-mute with anger issues, so that's why he wasn't responding and tried to break the door in. I gave him some Xanax and tied his hands together with duct tape and put on some episodes of Bluey, so he shouldn't be a problem. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll leave you with this week's Author Quote of the Week. See you on the next one.